Well, I think the most important thing when dealing with sellers is making sure that you supply them with all the information. You know, everybody has this thing in the back of their head that my baby is worth more than the one across the street. And the key behind it is explaining to them and showing them the differences in the homes. And you know, one house could have Formica, one house could have granite. There's a value difference there. One house could have carpeting, one person could have all hardwood floors in the house. Well, they're both doing a purpose. The problem is somebody who might have extreme allergies, they're going to gravitate to the home that has hardwood floors because carpeting can cause people to have more allergies because of dust mites or other issues. If they have pets, there's pet dander that could be in there. Yes, you can clean carpeting, you can Swiffer a hardwood floor, but there's a difference in value and there's a difference in perception. People need to look at the pluses and minuses of all homes, whether it's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, how old is the roof, how old is the furnace, how old is the air conditioning. People are looking at mechanicals. They want to know when they're purchasing a house what their investment's going to be, just like when that person bought the house. They're looking at the hot water heater. They're looking at the age of the windows. They're looking at, do I have to paint the house? Is it move-in condition? Somebody might have come from out of state where the values were different. You know, some states a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house could be $140. In another state it could be $440. So there's an education process on both sides of the coin. And you've got to stay on top of it. You know, giving people market snapshots, giving people the information as to what's going on in the house, in their neighborhood, allowing people to self-discover sometimes. You know, sometimes people have a conception that their house is worth $300,000. I may go in and tell them it's worth $275,000, and that's okay. My job is to show them why it's worth $275,000, because I have to show them why it won't appraise for the $300,000 number. You know, they all want to believe that it can, but the banks are only going to loan money to people based on current values. And if there are no comparable properties to compare it to, how do you get to that number? You have to have the right information. You know, Realtor.com, Redfin, Zillow, they're guesstimates. And the reason they're guesstimates is, when were they in your house? How do they know if the roof is 1 year old or 10 years old? How do they know if you've got a 1-year-old furnace or a 40-year-old furnace? All they're doing is taking a rough number of the village and the surrounding area, and that's why they give you a range. It's no different than if you drove past the car dealership and you saw 5 Chevy Camaros there. They're all going to be different prices based on the options that are on the car. One with a moonroof and GPS is probably going to be $3,500 more than the one without it. Well, that's what Zillow's doing. They're just throwing a random number out there. What I'm doing is I'm actually going into the house, I am walking the entire house, I am doing a comparable market analysis to the other homes that are similar to it in the neighborhood to give you a real value, not just guessing. Guessing doesn't put food on the plate for anybody. Zillow is a real estate platform, and all they're trying to do is make money for the corporation. They really don't care about the buyer. They really don't care about the seller. All they're trying to do is draw attention to themselves, and they're trying to collect advertising dollars. If you think about it, how can somebody that's sitting behind a computer give somebody a true value of any property? You need to walk into the property to see what it has compared to other ones. You know, somebody sitting behind a computer, they can put together a cartoon, they can put together advertising materials, but how can they actually put together the value of any product unless it's a bar of soap, a bottle of wine, or an actual, maybe even a kitchen towel? They can't do it for cars, they can't do it for properties, they can't even do it for land. They don't have any of the real information that we as realtors have. You need to go, basically, it's like driving a car. You got to kick the tires, you got to turn on the heater, you got to turn on the air conditioner, You gotta see if the car drives straight at 60 miles an hour. Why is that any different than walking through a home and looking at the features of the home, seeing what it has compared to the one next door, the one across the street, or the one maybe 2 blocks over in the same neighborhood? You have to see it, you need to feel it, you need to look at it. A computer can't do that.